top 5 ways to instantly improve your threading now. So the first part of this series, we focus on footwork. Now we're focusing on threading. Basically, the whole idea behind this series is to teach you guys concepts, not just moves, that you can apply to your movement now to make everything better now. So these are the top 5 threading concepts that I apply to myself and to my students that hopefully you can find helpful for you. Let's go. All right, so the first concept I want to talk to you guys about is manipulating your body to match the thread. So just as this water takes form, shape of the cup, I want to do the same thing, but with our threading. So let's say we're here and I want to thread this, okay? I could easily go like this, thread it through, right? Basic thread. Now, let's give ourselves a little bit more of an issue. So let's go to like here and here. Now, if I'm here, I could sit down, grab, thread through, right? But if I manipulate my body by bringing myself down, then I can get to a thread just like that, right? Simply by bending and going through, I can go into whatever thread that I want. Another example, hands down, we want to do a body thread. So we can step through like this, right? Get my body through, now we're in a body thread. Or, if we literally just bend down and use the ground to turn ourselves, we can go up into the thread, just like that. By actually controlling our body and bending it and manipulating to whatever shape our body needs to hit to get through the thread. And that's the main point that I'm trying to get across here. So I'm gonna give you guys an easy example. If I want to do like a double leg pike thread while spinning on my butt, I am going to be forced to manipulate my body to get into it, right? So if I'm spinning and I want to do a double pike thread, I'm forced to go in like that, right? Now that's easy, everyone gets that. But I want you to start trying to apply that concept to all your threads. So just because you don't necessarily need to, what if you did? Because if you do, you may make the thread way cleaner, and that's the point. So another example, let's say I'm here and I want to get this knee to the other side. Well, if I play with my weight and manipulate around, I can get there. Simply by using my knee and going like that, right? And we can apply this everywhere. Another basic example, we're here, right? Okay, everyone understands, bring your leg through. But what if I want to bring my head through? Well, then I'd be forced to manipulate my body to get under, right? So then rather than doing something basic like this, I could go something more advanced, like here, through, hit. Now to tie this concept together, I want to go into number 2, which is manipulating your hand to match your thread. Now, this is the same concept, but flipping on its head. So rather than changing your whole body to match the position of your thread, you're gonna change your whole hand and arm positioning to match your thread. Now I know you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, but it's so important and I really feel like a lot of people tend to overlook this. So for instance, let's take a basic thread, okay? We got this, right? So you can change it like that, or as you're going through, you can rotate to the top, right? Now, because I rotated to my top, my whole body position is different. So if I go back like this, it's gonna feel a little bit awkward. So maybe I can go somewhere else, like that. And then because my hand's here, I can easily bring it to something else. Body manipulation would be like this. Okay, but now what if I add my hand into it after I finish? And then I keep using my hand to do all these threads here. So as I rotate it, I'm gonna go from the back this time. You're gonna watch my hand. I'm going around, I'm going on top of my foot, I'm going down to here. So because my hand's completely matching my movement, I'm not breaking my threads, but my hand is where it needs to be to do the very next thread. So here's another example. Basic, step through, right? Start here, step through. Now let's add our body and hand into it. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna use my body first to get around, and then my hand all the way. So here, I'm going, boom. Here, boom. Then I can go to whatever I want. So again, zoom, pop, hit, right? And I do this all day. This is probably the 2 main things that I do, is manipulating my hand and my body to match my threads. All right, number 3, I want to talk about weight transferring. This is a huge one, and one that I see a lot of my students really struggle with, and that's knowing where your weight is to best match your thread. So for instance, let's say I'm doing a thread like this, okay? Here, 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 right? Now, it's huge because if I'm here, I'm trying to thread through, right? And I'm going back like this, and my weight's on this foot, and I try to thread, I'm gonna fall, right? If my weight is not back all here, I'm not gonna be able to balance on this foot, right? Now, when you're doing any thread, wherever you are, you need to really make sure your weight is in the proper positioning, because you're gonna be doing not only a balancing act, but also a creative, detailed movement that is very abstract at the same time. So that's an easy example. Now let's go to a hard one, where we're obviously only on one foot, right? So let's say I want to do a back thread like this, okay? And I'm like this, my weight's obviously here. But because all my weight's here and I need to thread there, how the heck am I gonna do that without crashing, okay? Because it's gonna be really easy to just fall. Well, I have to bring my weight to a certain positioning. So, again, if I need to open up here, I always need to raise. But where am I gonna hold when I raise? Well, I need to hold on the most center part of my foot. So I don't wanna go up like this. I don't wanna go up like this. I don't wanna go forward, I don't wanna go back. I wanna push straight down on that foot so that when I go up, I can hold it, see? So again, when you're trying to do more abstract threads, try to realize where you want to be balancing. And that's usually common sense, but I found, especially for myself, I just tried to do the thread and I'd be like, why won't it work? And I'm like, well, maybe if you step back from it and really realize where your weight's supposed to be, it's gonna be a lot easier. Because when you just try and go really quick, it doesn't really work. So try and slow it down and really realize, where is my weight supposed to be? And that's gonna be much easier. Now let's go to an example that might not be so basic. So let's go to like a footwork thread. Okay, you're here. So where's your weight? Well, your weight could easily be here, it could be back here, it could be back here. But where is the proper place for it to be? On your hand. Because your hand's gonna be the one thing that's not moving. Okay? Because obviously a certain amount of weight's gonna go to here, but if it all goes there, then it's gonna be hard to go around, because then as soon as you want to move that weight, suddenly you have all your weight going over. When if 90% of your weight's over here and 10% is here, it's going to be easy to do whatever I need to do here. Now let's say I want to do a thread like this. Okay? Obviously my weight's only going to be in one position. It's going to be on my heel, obviously, because that's where it needs to be. But if it's too forwards, what's going to happen? I go down to my fingers. If it's too side, I'm going to fall that way. So I need to be going up, but also leaning backwards, which means I'm going to be using my booty to hinge myself backwards as I thread up. So I'm going back like that because I'm falling. So again, I'm taking the weight out of the position that I'm threading in. This is where I see a lot of people mess up, is that they try to put their weight where their hand is. Never put your weight where your hand is unless you're doing some crazy abstract thread, because you want that space to be clear so that you have as much time as possible to hit the thread. Again, the more time I have here to balance, the easier it's going to be to get my leg through, right? And that's what the goal is. All right, number 4. This one's a little bit of a contradiction of the first couple ones, but it is also important because I don't want you to get caught up so much in the first couple concepts that you forget the main goal of your thread, which is to thread, okay? Sometimes people get so caught up in what they look like that they forget that the thread matters first. So don't worry about how you look during your thread so much as how the thread feels and how well you're executing your concept of the thread. That's what matters most, not how it's perceived by other people and how you may look. So really make sure when you're threading that the first thing that you should always be thinking about is, how do I hit the thread? Okay? Always make sure you can execute the thread first. Once you can execute the thread that you're trying to hit, then worry about stylizing it, playing with the shapes, different forms, extending your body, spinning, rolling, whatever you want to do. Then you can play with it, but make sure you get the base thread down first. If you don't understand that first, everything else becomes irrelevant. So sometimes I'll get caught up so much in the stylizing process, which is fine if you want to go there, but don't forget that if your goal was to hit a thread, make sure it's still a thread. All right, number 5, this one's a little bit more unorthodox, but everything has a rhythm to it, okay? Now, when you're threading, I feel like a lot of people tend to forget this because they just go, I do a thread here, I do a thread here, or I'm doing some footwork, one thread, then I go around, whatever, thread again here, hit, jump thread, you know, whatever you may be doing. It's just Your thread is part of your style. But what about having rhythms in your actual threading? So for instance, if you guys remember my pendulum, this is a good example of it because I'm always going boom, 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 right? I always have that rhythm to it. And this is something I figured out with threading when I was pretty young, that when you add this rhythm to it, it not only makes it unique, but it makes it a signature because it makes it unique to everyone else doing it. Because when you're doing a signature, it's signature to you. It's the way that you do it. And when you add your own personal rhythm into it, it adds that essence into it. And again, we have to remember this is a dance form and movement and it's art, and we usually do it to music, which means when you have rhythms to things, they tend to go with music way better. Let's take a basic one. Basic illusion thread, right? So if you play with a rhythm with that, you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. So it's easy to understand that with a move that repeats. If you have it as a pattern, it's easy to add that rhythm to it. But what about a move that you don't repeat? Maybe you just do it once or twice. Can you still add rhythm to it? Well, of course. How? Let me explain. So when I make my threads, for instance, especially like my hand threads, 1, boom, 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 right? Something like that. If I'm doing it in a set especially, I'll tend to have this kind of set rhythm that I go of boom, pop, 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 zoom, pop, right? And when you add that fast, slow, up and down, round and round into your style and your threading, it starts to make it come alive, where before it could just be like, it doesn't have that same feeling to it. So especially because threading is so small usually and so detail oriented, when you add that rhythm into it, it starts to add all of this character to it. So again, if you guys remember one of my old school thread combos, like this. 1, 2, up and hit, and round. Don't know if I'm in frame, but we're gonna go with it. Boom, 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 hit, zip. So, hope that was in frame. If not, I have to redo it, which is gonna be kind of frustrating because I hit it in one take. You know what I'm saying? Because people always tell me don't stay in a position while your thread's so long. Make sure you're making it unique, and this is the kind of way that I figured out of doing it, where I would add this rhythm into it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Da, da, ha, ha, ha. 1 and 2. Hit, hit, hit. Whatever your rhythm may be, try to play with adding those in there, because the more different ways you can rock it, which is gonna make you just more and more versatile, it's gonna make your threading more and more interesting to watch. And it also makes it unique every time people watch it, because you're gonna be doing it with either the same rhythm, which is then not gonna be unique to them, or you'll have like 4 different rhythms depending on the music that's playing. You can change it per rhythm. All right, y'all, if you like this video, please don't forget to comment down below. Tell me what style you'd like to add into this series next. Comment it down below and I'll make that happen. Thanks so much for watching again. Like the video, subscribe, smash the button for more videos. Magnus.Magneto out. Before you go, if you're not completely sick of my face already, don't forget to get my free course, Breaking Made Simple. To access the course, all you have to do is go to the link down below. To get the free download, all you have to do is join the Facebook group, Breaking Made Simple, which is a hub for people to learn, grow, and just get better and become the best B-boys they possibly can, man. And be cool.